Welcome to today's Explainer. All right, let's just jump right in, because today we are looking at something that honestly feels like it's straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, but I assure you it is 100% real. I want you to picture this. You wake up one morning, you grab your coffee, turn on the news, and suddenly you realize something is terribly, terribly wrong.
Imagine your screens are completely blank. You look at your phone, zero signal. Washington, D.C., the absolute beating heart of the United States government, has just abruptly and completely gone silent. There are no press briefings, no emergency broadcasts. Literally just static.
The unthinkable has happened. The White House, the very core of the executive branch and the home of the president, is destroyed. It's this catastrophic, blindingly fast loss of leadership, all in the blink of an eye. And while the devastation doesn't stop there, the Capitol is in ruins, and Congress is entirely unreachable. Communication networks are rapidly cascading into failure across the grid. Coast to coast, you have millions of Americans absolutely panicking as the sheer magnitude of what's happening sets in. Everyone is asking, who is in charge? What do we even do? But then, right in the middle of all that chaos, the tone completely shifts. From total, utter chaos to just cold, calculated efficiency. Because mere minutes later, somewhere deep underground, a shadow government activates. The president, or whoever the designated successor is, might already be sealed inside a highly classified bunker. Almost instantly, military commanders start getting encrypted orders, and America's nuclear forces stay firmly locked on high alert. The government hasn't actually collapsed, you see. It's simply relocated. Which brings us to the massive question we're diving into today. Was this whole system built only for nuclear war, or has it secretly been preparing for something much, much bigger? In this explainer, we're unpacking some truly incredible source material that details America's secret continuity plan. Part 1. The Cold War Origins. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to take a quick step back into history. During the Cold War, this incredibly tense era, U.S. leaders harbored a very real, very terrifying fear. They realized a massive nuclear strike could wipe out the nation's political leadership in a matter of minutes. If the president, Congress, and the Supreme Court were all taken out at the exact same time, the country would be totally paralyzed. And that specific, terrifying realization, that's what birthed the massive program we now know as Continuity of Government, or COG. Now, this wasn't just designed to save a handful of VIPs. It's a highly secretive emergency program with one defining absolute goal: ensuring the United States government continues to function no matter what happens. We're talking about the unbroken, continuous operation of the state. Part 2. The Survival Infrastructure. Because let's be honest, a plan on paper is totally useless if you don't have the physical hardware to back it up. Over the decades, the U.S. has poured massive resources into building hardened underground facilities designed to weather the literal apocalypse. Now sure, some of these are publicly known, but so many others remain highly classified. And we are not just talking about a concrete basement stocked with canned beans here. These are fully operational shadow cities. They've got dedicated emergency command centers, heavily secure communication systems, and completely independent power supplies, so they don't even need the national grid. Add in massive water and food reserves, fully equipped medical wings, state-of-the-art military command rooms, the whole shebang. Their purpose isn't just to hide out, it's to guarantee that the gears of government never, ever stop turning. But you might be wondering, how does the leadership actually get there in time? Well, it takes a highly synchronized dance. If a major national emergency kicks off, the president can be moved to a secure location in a matter of minutes. This protocol utilizes special helicopters, highly customized aircraft, and multiple pre-prepared secure locations that are always on standby. Every single second is mapped out in advance so that extraction goes off virtually flawlessly.
Part 3. The Chain of Command.
Now, extraction isn't always guaranteed, right? We've covered the where and the how, but the who is absolutely vital. If the unthinkable happens and the president is incapacitated, who actually takes the reins of this massive underground apparatus? Well, this is where the constitutional line of succession kicks in immediately. The hierarchy shifts straight to the vice president. If they're unavailable, it falls to the Speaker of the House, then the President pro tempore of the Senate, cascading all the way down through the cabinet secretaries. But ask yourself this: what happens if a catastrophic event takes out several of these leaders all at the exact same time? That potential for a cascading failure is exactly why the continuity of government plan is so essential. It ensures there is always someone ready to step up. And whoever does step into that role needs the right tools to lead. You've probably heard of the briefcase carried by a military aide everywhere the president goes, the infamous nuclear football. Popular culture tells us it's a literal red launch button, but let's go ahead and bust that myth right now.
Actually, scratch that. It's more like a mobile command center. It contains secure communication tools, authentication materials, and critical emergency procedures. The whole thing is designed to help the president make complex, high-stakes decisions during a crisis, not just push a button.
As our source material plainly states, reliable communication is considered one of the foundations of national survival. Think about how reliant we all are on technology today. Even if the internet totally crashes, cell networks collapse, or power grids are attacked, this secret plan maintains its own secure communication network. It is absolutely crucial that military leaders and government officials stay connected no matter what.
Part 4. Facing Tomorrow's Threats.
Which brings us right out of the history books and into the present day. Because while this incredible infrastructure was born from Cold War paranoia, modern security planners definitely aren't just sitting around dusting off old nuclear blueprints. Today's threats go way beyond a nuclear strike, and they're things that could directly disrupt our daily lives. Right now, planners are actively preparing for crippling cyber attacks, EMP attacks that fry our electronics, artificial intelligence warfare, space-based threats, and targeted infrastructure sabotage. America has to constantly update these emergency plans to stay ahead of these incredibly complex, modern risks.
So that leaves us with one final, pretty fascinating question to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. Are there still emergency plans hidden from public view? Is America truly prepared for its darkest day? Because when you think about it, the safest place in the world is probably the one that nobody even knows exists. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive into our government's ultimate backup plan gave you something to think about. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I will catch you next time.